So let's get to the meat of this webinar and hear it firsthand from someone that has been using this breakthrough formula for over 5 years in her reflexology practice with her clients in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is with great honor and great privilege that Zoe Global welcomes Carrie Wagner, certified registered reflexologist. Currently, Carrie is in the doctoral program for health science at University of Bridgeport in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where Carrie is pursuing research, clinical nutrition, and professor tracks. In Carrie's busy pursuit of this doctorate degree, Carrie has helped many of her clients experience tremendous patient benefits, and she is going to begin to educate us on the 7 phases of toxicity. Carrie, the call is yours, my friend. Welcome to the call.
Well, thanks, Denise. It's great to be here. And I love talking about this very topic, the 7 phases of toxicity, because everybody we meet is in one of these phases on any given day. And my goal with my clients is to progress them into health and get them out of any other phase that they might be in if they're not manifesting really good health. Why? And so we look at some different reasons why, and so there's some questions and questionnaires and things we do. But basically, if you think about your own life, little babies, when they're born, are all in phase 1, or they should be. And they are eliminating very easily every day. They're peeing and pooping, their body is working, they're digesting their food, and it's eliminating in a normal time frame, and that's what it's supposed to do. We eliminate through perspiration, the saliva, the urine, the feces, menstrual cycle, earwax, sinuses, the nose. We're trying to get rid of all these toxins that build up. If we don't rid them, they will continue to build up, and we don't want that. You can look at, someone's eyes and see that there's things coming out of their eyes. That's a good thing. Usually that's the body's way of just clearing some things. Skin. If your colon is not working, you will eliminate, and it will be through your skin. And so there's rationing and things that happen. Well, that's still a phase of elimination, and that's a good thing. If you're drinking enough water, you should just do that just normally. This is when the body is actually ultimately detoxifying normally. We are a detoxification machine. And normally we just neutralize all these toxins. We have positively charged substances that we get exposed to, negatively charged chemicals and things we're exposed to, and the body knows how to balance all of that out just normally. And the normal function of the tissue, the organs, it eliminates through the feces and urine, like we said, sweat. And if we don't do that, then we're not in phase 1 anymore. We're progressing into phase 2. And now we start to experience inflammation. You're achy, you're sore, you didn't hurt yourself, you didn't work out too hard, you're just sore for really no reason. That's what we're talking about here. These are intense reactions when the body has too many toxins and the pathways are not clear and the body is not able, because there's so much, to eliminate it normally. So now you're building up nitrates, and it's a process called oxidation. So if you thought about a rusty pipe or a chair outside that starts to rust, that's a normal process of aging and oxidation accumulation because of the free radical damage. So when that's happening in the body, you have to do something to eliminate that. And we're so thankful and grateful to have the clear drops to be able to help us go from phase 2 back down to elimination again. So you're going to clear out that inflammation. It's still an acute phase. These people are still in a homeostasis type situation, pretty healthy, minimal colds during the year, minimal sicknesses, no disease happening, no diagnosis. These are those people. And so when your body is working normally, you're passing toxins, through the normal channel, but you're building them up a little faster than you did when you're just, eliminating only. So now we're talking about some symptoms. You're starting to see some, like I said, the inflammation, but also an acute reaction of maybe a fever. Maybe there's vomiting. Maybe there's diarrhea, some kind of flu or something starts in, or maybe you try to fight it. It doesn't really kick you out. You can still go to work and function, but you just don't feel right. And maybe you have an eczema or some rashing that happens. Now you got so much toxin they're not coming out normally through the kidney and colon. Now they're coming out through your skin. So that's phase 2. So if you continue on into more toxicity, you will go into what we call infection phase, or phase 3. Now we're seeing this more accumulation, and there's just too many coming in for the body to eliminate them. And so we're finding some bioaccumulation of these toxins. And where are we finding these toxins? They're in our fat. The more fat we have, the more toxins we have stored in that adipose tissue. They're in the bones. So, brittle bones. People have bone issues and things, and that's where the toxins need to be eliminated from as well, and then also the brain. So these toxins get in, and they really never leave by themselves. They have to have an agent such as clear drops to help them be pushed through the system. You got to drink the water, but basically it's just going to move people from phase 3 infection down to phase 2. Then they're going to feel that inflammation kick up again. Well, they didn't work out. Why are they this sore? Why are they this achy? Oh, their back hurts, their knee hurts, their toe hurts, whatever. And it's this inflammation because the body's trying to rid itself of these toxins. And then they'll go down to phase 1, and now they're eliminating normally, and everything's happy in their world. So basically in that infection phase, they're starting to see the leukocytes go up. The things in the blood work are starting to change. They're not as good in the range of their blood work as they used to be, and they're starting to see these different symptoms. So if they keep on with that path, then they're going to go to phase 4, and we call that bioaccumulation. Now, all of these phases, 1, 2, 3, and 4, think about it as all these toxins are safely outside the cell membrane. So your cell membrane, you got 2 membranes in each cell. One's on the outside, one's on the inside. One is for the nucleus. And if the cells are healthy, your nucleus is fine, everything's good, the DNA is good, the epigenetics, all that is good. You're not going to mess with your genes too badly because you're not that toxic yet. So you're still good. You're still in a energetic disturbance. You're having some things affecting your energy level. You might be more fatigued. Your sleeping isn't quite as good in this phase. You're noticing, you're just not as happy, emotionally. You're starting to get angrier and a little more short with people. This is a phase when this takes years to get here. So, the little baby phase, the cute phase when you're a teen, you're bioaccumulating when you're like in your 20s, maybe now you're in your 30s, maybe 40s, and you're starting to be in this bioaccumulation state. And this is a phase that you can just as easily go backwards, and you're going to go back down. You take some of these clear drops, and let's say you're starting in and you're on phase 4. And you start taking clear drops, and all of a sudden, within 2 days, you're catching a cold. Well, you weren't even around anybody. You didn't really catch someone else's cold. What you probably most likely did is stirred up some of your old viruses that may live dormant in your spinal nerves or in your body, and then the drops just stirred them up because why? They want to leave. They want to get out of there, and they're going to leave through the colon and kidney, but they're, tripping you a little fever. You're going to have a little cold. You're going to have a little reaction. Then you're going to go backwards to the inflammation. Then you're going to go back down even further to elimination. So our goal for you on this call is to teach everybody to be in elimination and pay attention that if you're not, what phase might you be in? I have my clients put this on the wall in their bathroom, and they sit there and look at it like, okay, I think I'm in this phase today, but these people who take drops every day, they go down, 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 So we say 10 years into the forest, 10 years out of the forest. So if it took you, 40 years to get to phase 4, it's not going to take you 40 years to go down to elimination. I can guarantee you that, because these drops really, really work. They're very effective. They do what they say. So we're trying to get the body to take these drops on a regular basis. Now you're in phase 4, and you're looking at big depositing of toxic material that's building up outside the cell membrane, and this is when you start noticing, you've got a cyst, you've got a benign tumor somewhere, you've got a fibroid, you've got a kidney stone, maybe you've got a heel spur, maybe you're getting too much cellulite on your legs or your, glutes or something, and fat is accumulating. Remember, all the fat is going in the toxins are going in the fat. So when we do the detox drops, we're taking the clear drops every day, it's going after the toxins accumulated in the fat, And so you're going to start dropping some pounds. That's a good day. And then also you're going to start noticing your pants and your clothes are fitting you better. And you're just going to feel better, and you're going to start sleeping better. But the electrolytes in phase 4 start to go up, and that's not good. Ammonia starts to build up. That's hard on your kidneys. That's why these drops are so good for people who have these kind of challenges, because it's pulling down the ammonia level. It's pulling down the uric acid level. It's pulling down some of these levels that accumulate in the body without any kind of attention. They just get worse on their own. They're not going to just get better by themselves. These drops will help every area that we've talked about so far. Now, okay, you're the person who is in phase 4, and you ate that thing or you exposed yourself to some kind of toxin, and now you have this tipping point, we call it. Where is that next toxin going to go? It's going in, because there's nowhere on the outside of the cells to go, so it's going inside the cell, and it's going to go to the weakest cells, and it's go to the ones that the cell membrane is challenged because it's been weakened from all these other phases. Now it's going inside the cell, and it's going to start to do damage there. It's getting through that membrane, and it's going to try to get in through the nucleus. That's where your DNA is. You don't want to mess with that, because that's going to change your genes. You're going to be challenged with some gene issues if you're getting toxins at that level. And that's where you start seeing this in phase 5. So that's called decomposition or dysfunction. So mitochondria, DNA, in the cell, and we're having a breakdown. This is affecting your immune system. And these people really start feeling bad. I mean, they're missing days of work. They're not well. They're getting like maybe a diagnosis of diabetes or a pre-cancer diagnosis, or something's happening. You've got high ammonia here. You've got high nitrates. Your body is in high oxidation. So if this is happening, you are not well. And you can tell because your inflammation is really, really high. Your fatigue is really, really bad. You're starting to have acne, headaches more often, chronic inflammation, that you're in pain a lot. A lot of these people take a lot of opioids and pain medication because they're just in pain all the time. Hormonal changes, PMS, people have a lot of issues with that. Allergies are worse in this phase. Infections become worse. If they've had an infection, wounds don't heal as fast, all of that. So now we're looking at how is the body going to eliminate? Take drops. Okay, so now if you're in phase 5, you're going to go down to the bioaccumulation phase. And when you get there, you're going to notice that your body is less tired. You're going to have more energy to do things with your kids and grandkids. You're going to be able to take a walk. You know, these people in phase 5 and going forward, they're not active. They're not working out because they can't, because they don't have enough energy to do it. The point of your mitochondria is to what? Make ATP. ATP is your energy for every single cell. And if you can't make ATP, you're going to be sick and have a degenerative, kind of situation. So in that phase, we're seeing the dysfunction happen there, a lot of mental challenges, a lot of emotional things. People go on, every kind of SSRIs and different anxiety medication, depression medication, all that shows up big time in phase 5 and phase 6. Yeah, people go to medications and try all that. And all right, now we're on phase 6, degeneration phase. So this one is looking at major disruption in the mitochondria. So now the function of the mitochondria to make ATP is not happening. You're really tired, fatigued. People get a lot of high level of oxidation is some of the symptoms for, like I said, the depression, mental anguish, that type of thing. And this is a pre-cancer phase right here. So if their blood work shows that they have a mass of some kind or some growth, what is that? All that is toxins accumulated, and the body tries to sequester it out of a healthy organ. Like, how often, if ever, do you find out about heart cancer? You don't get heart cancer because you got a beating blood supply, and and you're not going to usually get an autoimmune condition in your heart because that thing's beating all the time. It's going to go to the other lesser organs, whatever, and it's going to try to saturate them with the amount of toxin. So places in the body that have the less amount of flow of blood and the least amount of nerve supply, those are the ones that the toxins attack. If people have a precancer condition, they can reverse that with clear drops. And I see it every day in my clinic. I have first-stage clients that come just newly diagnosed with a cancer. I've got people who are fourth-stage, and we take them from fourth stage to third stage. They go down to second stage. They go to first. They go through the whole process here. They go way down and try to get them to elimination or inflammation because they have to. This is the best thing that they can do. The medications and some of the things, the cancer conditions or chemos, whatever people take, it's not the same as how this pathway works with these drops. So you can take both. Very fine to take both remedies. We have a lot of people taking pharmaceuticals and taking drops very safely. Okay, so phase 7 is called autoimmune or cancer or mutation. So this is when someone is in phase 7, they are chronic, oxygen is getting deprived from getting into the cell. So now they're in an anaerobic state. And this is where you're full-on malignancy. You're diagnosed with something, and cancer or autoimmune. So these are people who have major destruction of the cell outside membrane as well as the inside. So if you start degenerating and killing off cells, we all have rogue cancer cells in our body. Everyone does. But if they're starving, they're getting good nutrition, they're getting water, they're getting oxygen, they're getting drops, they're not going to mature into a bigger cancer cell. They're not going to progress. They're not going to, multiply and make more. They're going to just stop the process and reverse. That's why we're putting everybody on this program to get them out to drops every day. So the ammonia is high, the nitrates are high, the electrolytes are high, oxidation is really high. But autoimmune, there's 206 different autoimmune conditions. And all these people, most don't realize, they're in phase 7 of toxicity. So their fat, their brain, their bones, every part of them has cellular degeneration. And it's all subject to change. I think people walk in my door and I talk to them. I listen closely as to what's their highest need. They got kids and grandkids. They want to play with their grandkids. And they've got this condition. It's like, well, how fast do you want to get better? So I put them on a plan to eat right for their blood type. I give them the drops. I monitor them. And, every single one of them, unless they stop taking drops, gets better. Every single one. I have many, many cases of files of people, and they're all quite happy with how these drops work for them.
Wow. Carrie, I'm borderline speechless. The average person does not understand this, and they get in these various phases that you just did a brilliant job of introducing. I do have one question for you.
Sure.
All throughout the phases, you kept referencing clear drops. Let me ask you, is there another zeolite formula for the consumer to consume that can do the same thing that clear drops is capable of doing?
There is not. Unfortunately, none of the companies have a soluble version of zeolite. Now, there's a few out there that they can cross into the gut, and they can help the colon, and they can pass through the colon quite okay, but they're not crossing the membrane. That product is a suspension. And so because it's a suspension, it's not water soluble. It can get in the body, and like I said, it can clear some colon, but it's not that effective. So this product, we are so happy to easily explain this to people, and it's almost tasteless, got a bit of vitamin C in it, but it's safe to take, and this product is strong, and it really, really works. And if you don't hydrate, you might get a little headache, because what it's doing is it's clearing your pathways. So it's going after, it's a concentration gradient, so it goes after the highest level toxin you have. So a +4 platinum, so we want that out. Well, the drops are going to go after that and pull that into its cage, into the cellular matrix there, and it's attached to it, and once it binds to the zeolite, it doesn't ever unattach. So a lot of these different detox programs that I used to put people on back in the day, because they kind of half worked. People did get some results, but they had this ping pong effect. And they're taking some rose water, some cleanse off the shelf, or whatever they're doing, and they get worse before they get better, and then the symptom goes somewhere else to the body, and then they end up kind of feeling really, really bad and don't know why, or their face starts turning. It's like, okay, you did a pathway and you took a product that was too strong and not able to release. And so it gets in and it gets stuck. This product, our product, will not do that. It can't do that. It's actively doing its job in your body with your cells, attracting, binding, and then eliminating the toxins with just in a few hours. Because once your body starts this elimination process, the body loves elimination. We are eliminating machines. We are created to get rid of stuff we don't need. We were created to live, and we're created to function and do. I mean, we're supposed to live to 120 years on this planet, and that's my goal. But anyway, we don't get there because we have inundated levels of toxins from the air, the food, the water. Also, there's levels of toxins called endotoxins that we have inside of us because of our own levels of stress. So we can go there and talk about stress and cortisol and things like that. If you can keep your body and mind calm and peaceful, it will help your health tremendously. But those toxins are also cleared out with these drops.
Wow. I mean, I really don't know what to say, Carrie, because this has been like a real wake-up call, and I love the 7 stages to toxicity, and so much of it makes sense because of the common things that the common person is hearing on a daily basis. And we can't avoid these toxins because, like you said multiple times, and we know they're in the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the water we drink, you know?
Right.
So, oh my goodness, I want to say thank you immensely from Zoe Global. Thank you immensely from those that have joined us on the call this evening for the time that you've given us. Carrie, it's priceless, and I'm grateful for what you're doing to help people in your community there in Knoxville, Tennessee area. We look forward to future engagements, having you back on and give us some more education. You know, you're leading by example. You've been doing this. You've been using this product for 5 years in your practice, and I think that speaks volumes. So from all of us at Zoe Global, thank you so much for spending this invaluable time with us this evening.
You're welcome.